At the center of your being, you have the answer. You know who you are, and you know what you want. Lao Tzu. Let's talk about the Tao Te Ching. Written more than 2,000 years ago, it's one of the true classics of spiritual literature. It is a guide to cultivating a life of peace, serenity, and compassion. Through analogies and parable, it leads readers towards the Tao, or the way, harmony with the life force of the universe. The Tao Te Ching is a work of metaphysical psychology, taking us far beyond the social or biological factors that have been the main concern of modern psychology. It helps us see how the fundamental elements of the cosmos itself are mirrored in our own individual structure, and it invites us to live in a direct relationship with these forces. Metaphysically, the term Tao refers to the way things are. Psychologically, it refers to the way human nature is constituted, a deep dynamic structure of our being. Ethically, it means the way human beings must conduct themselves with others. Spiritually, it refers to the guidance that is offered to us, the methods of searching for the truth that have been handed down by the great sages of the past, the way of inner work. Yet all these meanings of the Tao are ultimately one. So we have Derek Lynn's translation here from 1994, chapter 1. I will read out his translation and then also his explanation of that chapter. The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. The nameless is the origin of heaven and earth. The named is the mother of myriad things. Thus, constantly free from desire, one observes its wonders. Constantly filled with desire, one observes its manifestations. These two emerge together but are different in name. The unity is said to be the mystery. Mystery of mysteries, the door to all wonders. So the Tao that can be completely explained or expressed in words is not the constant, eternally unchanging and true Tao. If the name of this Tao can be defined by words, then it is not the constant, eternally unchanging name of the true Tao. Names did not exist prior to creation. The nameless Tao is therefore the source of the universe. Once it manifests itself as the physical universe, it can be named. Everything is derived from it through natural processes. It is therefore the mother of all things. If we approach the Tao without self-serving desires, we can readily observe its inner wonders and marvels. This establishes a direct connection with the source, the vast intelligence of universal consciousness. This gives us flashes of powerful intuitive insights as well as free-flowing creativity. If we approach the Tao full of self-serving desires, then we can only observe its external physical manifestations rather than its inner essence. These desires block the connection and interfere with the Tao process. We often do this to ourselves. The Tao's external manifestations, life, nature, the cosmos, and so on, and its internal wonders, oneness, the living void, the flow, etc., are both properties of the ultimate reality. Although we call them by different names, they are but two sides of the same coin. This unity of these two aspects gives us an interesting paradox. They seem distinctly different, and yet they lead to one another. understanding of the Tao's inner essence gives us greater understanding of its outer manifestations, and vice versa. Our recognition and acknowledgement of this paradox will open the door for us to further explore the infinite wonders of the Tao. And so here, Derek Lin beautifully articulates the first chapter and the paradox that faces us when we try to understand the mystery. And this is the paradox of life itself, the inner world and the outer world. The inner world of pure, effortless awareness that arises, the sense of being present, being alive now, the pure visceral experience of sentience, breathing, being, and then the outward manifestations that we need to negotiate, which we call life out there. This balance between inner sense of peace and clarity and perfection and fulfillment with the need to move into the world of chaos and bring order from that chaos. Life doesn't stand still. We can't hide away. We can't find a quiet corner of the world in which we can just relax and be at peace. It continually challenges us. And if we try to hide from that, we try to go within in terms of self-defense by closing down, then life finds a way of breaking through that barrier, and we have to face our reality at some point. That reality is the manifestations that arise and the fact that we are part of that arising and the difficulties in life and the struggles that we face and the idea that we would like things to be different to how they are, and we try our best to move in a direction that gives us what we want. That struggle seems to be working all the time. In the personalized realm, we don't seem to have a choice about that. We're at this place and we want to move to a better place. This is just a biological urge to move to something that is nurturing and away from something that is poisonous, for instance. We want security and peace. We want to feel in control, and we want a better life for ourselves and our loved ones. But by the same token, whilst we're playing in that world of the personalized self and dealing with what is happening, there is this inner world, and this is the inner world of the Tao Te Ching, which is the pure conscious awareness, the beingness itself, which is perfectly fulfilled and effortless, and it doesn't require anything from the external world. And so I've set up two different worlds here, which is dualistic, of course, and that seems to be where we find ourselves. And the Tao Te Ching bridges that gap. As we move forwards in the chapters, it will start to talk about opposites and the fact that everything is split into two polar opposites in the world of manifestations. And that's the way we see things. You can't have happiness without sadness. There's no such thing as a valley without a mountain. There isn't any tears without joy. There's no high without low, long without short. There's nothing easy without something being difficult. That's the world we live in, but the Tao is the middle way. It recognizes those opposites have to coexist, but it finds the center. And that is coming back to the effortless awareness within which those opposites arise. But we aren't defined by those opposites. We find the middle way, and you can find that through reading the Tao. It is a work of metaphysical genius. It's mystical. It draws you into a world that you will recognize, but not intellectually. It will just resonate. It will chime the truth. That bell, that distant bell of truth will be chimed. It will sound deeply comforting and true. Not in the sense of being able to be logically and coherently understood, but true in the deeper, authentic sense that you intuitively know. And so keep dipping into the Tao Te Ching, and I will do on this channel, as a window into and an insightful way of viewing the ultimate reality, the ground of one's being, the I before I am, the absolute that gives rise to the world that we find ourselves in. And then that dance between being and becoming, between the impersonal self, the effortless awareness of breathing, of being alive, and becoming, which is the personalized realm of acting in the world, becomes harmonious. That dance becomes harmonious, and you can flex within that. And the principles of the Tao then can act through you in those worlds, in that dance. And you become that dance, and you are that dance, and you recognize that it's easy to be in that flow. And in fact, you are that flow.